Hey everybody, I'm Mike Levy here with Henry Quinney, and we're here to talk about the big one, Mountain Bike of the Year for 2021. Now this year has seen a whole bunch of interesting bikes. We have a whole bunch of interesting nominees, one of who will get our amazing trophy.
Yeah, our trophies didn't turn up in time this year, so we've had to be innovative.
Yeah, not so much. All right. Henry, tell us why our first nominee is Norco's brand new Range Enduro bike.
The Norco Range is nominated because it represents the current zeitgeist of mountain biking. It is a long travel enduro bike with a high pivot. And it also manages to do that whilst not just promising great downhill performance, but actually delivering on it. In fact, when we had this bike in our field test, we felt it was one of the best handling enduro bikes that we've possibly ever ridden. Now, it might not be as versatile as some other bikes in terms of going up the hill, but there are a few better candidates to have a bike you're going to be doing shuttle runs on, downhill runs on in the bike park, that occasionally you need to do some pedaling on. The grip this bike offers is quite simply outstanding.
Only occasional pedaling though on that one. But our next nominee, well, it's definitely better suited to that. It is Trek's brand new Top Fuel. And now that name used to be attached to their full-on cross-country race bike. But for this year, it's a 120 millimeter travel downcountry bike that's slacker and far more capable. We had this bike at the field test recently and we're blown away by its performance.
Absolutely. Now, another bike that did something quite similar to the Trek Top Fuel is the new Rocky Mountain Element. Now, 5 years ago, you'd see the Element and the Top Fuel go toe-to-toe on the World Cup race scene. However, now they are both these amazingly aggressive, short travel, dare I say it, downcountry bikes. Although the geometry numbers are very similar on these bikes, they do feel slightly different. I would say the Trek is an amazing bike, but perhaps slightly more alive on the flat stuff. And the geometry of the Element means it is just fantastic when you're going down things that on a 120mm bike, you should have no right to go down, let alone factoring in its fantastically low weight.
Yeah, incredibly capable, almost as capable as our next nominee that has another 50 millimeters travel. Now that's not entirely true, I'm mostly joking, but the bike I'm talking about is Transition's 170 millimeter travel Spire. Now I would usually introduce this bike, but Henry has been riding the piss out of his Spire and won't shut up. Henry?
It's become something of a joke within the company about how much I talk about this bike. It's my personal favorite. I love it dearly. It's so versatile. It rides so well. But predominantly, I think a large part of why I love this bike so much is just because it's light, it grips really well. And if anything, its angles for some people might even be a bit too out there. And I think that's a really cool place to go. It absolutely delivers on being a radical enduro bike with low enough weight that can be pedaled around all day.
Now the Spire is an amazing bike, as Henry has told me nonstop for the past few months, as are the rest of our nominees, but there can only be one winner, and it is?
It is the Norco Range. Now this bike is something truly special, and even within the movement of high pivot bikes, some are doing it better than others. Now whereas the Norco might appear to be a brutish bully that can only do one thing, it does everything with aplomb when it comes to going downhill.
Yeah, Henry, and depending on the terrain, this is a bike that potentially could replace your actual downhill bike. And no, it's not exactly the most well-rounded machine out there, but if you're okay humping this thing up the hills, it is an absolute monster on the way back down. And for those reasons, it gets our 2021 Mountain Bike of the Year award and this beautiful trophy.
Now, congratulations to everyone at Norco and from all of us at Pinkbike. I mean, hopefully after some of the arguments we've had about these bikes, we can start to rebuild some bridges because it got pretty fiery for a moment there.
I don't like you anymore.
I didn't like you to begin with. Well done to Norco, and your real trophy is in the post. But until then, hopefully you'll appreciate this beautiful statue. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and get in the comments below. What bike do you think should have won the 2021 Bike of the Year?